What's going on in Texas A&M? What's happening there?
Well, they're ready to pull the plug on Kevin Sumlin. The new AD there, Scott Woodward, he pretty much put him on notice. He went on, the SEC network at the SEC meetings and basically said if he doesn't have a better year, it's over. And they've had a decent year, not good enough. They lost 3 games to top 15 opponents. They lost the game against UCLA early on.
Yeah, I read the Regent's Facebook rant as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's been stuff out of the woodwork. It's been all over the place. And so yesterday, the Houston Chronicle had reported that they are prepared. They are going to fire Kevin Sumlin after the season finale, which is Saturday night at LSU. And they're going to fire him whether he wins or loses. And from talking to guys on that staff, and I talked to one of the assistant coaches last night, I said, how'd you find out about the report? He said, it was basically when I was coming off the practice field, I saw I had 6 messages and 2 were from recruits. He said it's really, and he used some colorful language, a bad deal for the players to find out that, no matter what, it doesn't matter what you do on Saturday night. And he goes, all these guys were recruited by Kevin Sumlin. It's not sitting well, especially in light of what the AD kind of putting them on blast before the season even started.
So who's on a short list there?
Much like what you were talking about with Jim Mora and UCLA, Scott Woodward, the AD, used to be at LSU. He's a deputy AD there. And he had worked with Jimbo Fisher, who was under Nick Saban. I think that is the swing for the fences guy that they're going to try to get Jimbo Fisher, who's won a national title but having an awful season this year in Tallahassee and has ruffled some feathers, in the wake of this, 4-6 season because he's complained about facilities. People there want him to make some staff shakeup. If he was going to leave, and there's been other times where people have, Texas, LSU, other schools have had interest in him, and he has stayed there. If there was a time to leave, this might be the time, and A&M could pay him a lot of money to go back to the SEC. So we'll see what he does. If he doesn't take it, I don't know what they do, because Kevin Sumlin won bigger than anybody's won there. It was the first time in 50-plus years they were had a top 5 finish.
Yes. So
what do you do if you don't get Jimbo Fisher? Do you go after Gary Kubiak? I don't know what they would do.
Now I'm gonna tread on the ground that people love to rip me for and rag on me for. Okay, all the NFL talent evaluators just love texting me. Hey, I'm hearing they're coming for your guy in Ann Arbor. I hear they're coming. I hear that the Browns and the Colts and the Bears are going to back up the truck. Are you hearing anything about that with Harbaugh in Michigan right now, Bruce?
I'd be surprised if he were to leave now. Think about this, and take your yourself out of this and your heart out of this. If you can. So
because this is a topic of this. And again, I don't know if these talent evaluators are doing it just to rib me and just poke at me. They could be that too. But.
You have a guy who is ultra competitive. We know that. He got this job. He has not beaten his arch rival to this point. They play Ohio State this weekend.
Yes, sir.
He has struggled with Michigan State. He has struggled, in the big games that, if you're the Michigan coach, you really need to win. His team is a year away probably because he had the fewest returning starters coming into this season. He's got a young quarterback. We'll see what happens, whether it's Brandon Peters, whether it's Christian McCaffrey's little brother, Dylan McCaffrey, whatever's going to be. All that defense, a lot of those guys are going to be back. They should be really good next year. Do you really think he's going to go, I got this as my family loves it here, the situation where, the grandparents are around the kids, everything. Now, it's not to say he couldn't get a similar dynamic because he's got so much money that you could probably create that kind of ecosystem. I just find it hard to believe that he would pull the plug after all it took to get this situation at Michigan and to do the heavy lifting to do some of this stuff, that he would go bolt back to the NFL. He could do that a year from now. He could do that 2 years from now. So why would he do it now when you left unfinished business on the table? Because he may not get this opportunity to be the Michigan coach. If Michigan feels that special to him, it's different from an NFL team or an NFL organization. He's going to get those opportunities down the road.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.